Let me tell you something, Pack Nation. Ryan just called me, actually called me on the phone, and he is yelling. He is screaming about Jordan Love, about whether this offense is holding him back, about the scheme, about all of it. I mean, he is absolutely fired up. I'm sitting there going, okay, this is the pod today. We're doing this. And then right in the middle of the sentence, he goes, you know what? Never mind. I'm taking this one. Be ready, because Ryan is on tomorrow's pod. Just like that. Click. I'm standing here holding the phone going, okay, fine. You want to be the host now? Be the host. I will tell you something, though, Pack Nation. I'm not even mad, because I've been sitting on something since last night, and I needed somebody to clear the runway. Yesterday, we broke down Javon Bullard from every angle, the PFF grades, the coverage numbers, McKinney and Evan Williams, and Gannon building the exact Buda Baker role. We did the architecture. We did the scheme. And I thought I had closed the book on Bullard for a minute. I was not close to done, because last night I read Tyler Dunne's piece over at Go Long TD. And Pack Nation, stay with me here. This is not a piece about scheme. This is not about grades or personnel groupings or coverage snaps. This is about who Javon Bullard is, where he comes from, what is actually built into the bones of this kid. And I'm telling you right now, if you care at all about whether this Packers team ever develops a killer instinct, you need to understand Bullard from the ground up. So let me tell you about Milledgeville, Georgia. Population, 17,000. Everything this town needs is on one street. And growing up there, Bullard learned something that no NFL scheme can teach you. He learned how to read a room before it goes bad. He learned how to bob and weave, his words, not mine, and never run in a straight line when things pop off. He had friends grazed by bullets, friends who went to cell block B, friends in the ground. And he came out of it with one philosophy. Life is short. Go 110% and deal with the consequences on the next play. Are you hearing this? This is the same kid who made the most fearless hit I've ever seen in a college football game. Blew up Marvin Harrison Jr. in the national championship semifinal. Ohio State, Georgia is down by 11, and Bullard just destroys him. And when the whole country called him dirty, when Big Ten officials called it dangerous, when Ryan Day had a press conference about it, Bullard's response was exactly this: make me the villain. Not I'm sorry, not I will adjust my technique. Make me the villain. He said he took every single thing that Columbus fan base threw at him and made a decision. Your perception is my perspective now. You want a villain? I will give you a villain. What's next? You know what that reminds me of? There's a certain type of fighter. I'm not talking a specific guy, just the type who fights his whole career, technically sound, under control, does everything right, and then somebody takes a cheap shot, and instead of rattling him, it unlocks him, because now he has got an entire crowd rooting against him, and something primal just comes alive. He was already good. Now he is genuinely dangerous. That is Javon Bullard at the college football playoff. The moment an entire fan base decided to hate him was the moment he became a different kind of player. And Pack Nation, am I crazy? Has this organization had enough players like that? We have had disciplined players, technically sound players, players who made the right read and came off the field and said the right things to the media. But a player who tells the whole world to make him the villain and actually means it, that is new in this building. Dunne's piece says Bullard lives right across from Lambeau Field. His girlfriend is on the couch watching her shows. He has got a tablet in his lap watching film. That is his Tuesday night. I'm pacing around Peshtigo at midnight reading a 9,000-word Substack article about a safety from Georgia, and I have zero regrets. This is my life, Pack Nation, and I am all in. Now the numbers. We went through them yesterday, but here is the one from Dunne's piece I keep coming back to. 0.63 yards allowed per coverage snap as a nickel last year. One player in the entire league was better. One, Kyle Hamilton, a guy on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And Bullard is right there, and he wants more of it. But Pack Nation, we need to talk about Denver.
I know we are in a Bullard episode, but this is the whole point. Jordan Love gets cheap-shotted by Talanoa Hufanga in Denver, shoves him in the head, on the field, in front of everybody. And the Green Bay Packers, professional football players, the biggest and fastest men on the planet, stood around and pointed like they were flagging down an umpire at a church league softball game. Excuse me, sir, that was not very sporting. Dunne writes about it. T.J. Lang had to go on a podcast and explain what should have happened. A guy who protected Favre and Rodgers for a decade said it out loud. There is no negotiation. You stand up. You take the 15 yards. You take 150 yards if that is what it costs. Because if you do nothing, you get bullied again and again. And then 4 weeks later, a rival head coach punks you on national television, and the whole world watches and nods along like they expected nothing different. Bullard told Dunne, I am never sliding. His reference was the 2014 NFC Championship. Burnett intercepts Wilson with the 21-7 lead and slides down on defense. Everything falls apart after that. Bullard's response to that play? 4 words. What are you sliding for? On defense, with the lead in a championship game, 4 words that describe everything wrong with this organization's mentality for 10 years. And then there is Chicago. Pack Nation, are you hearing this? Bullard sat across from Tyler Dunne in a restaurant in Milledgeville and said, damn, I hate Chicago. Not, we have a tremendous amount of respect for what they are building. Damn, I hate Chicago. Does not like the team. Does not like the coach. Does not like a single thing about them except the food. He loves the food. He has got integrity. Everything else, gone. Total contempt. He is calling it Big Brother and Little Brother. They got 2 little wins last year, fine. But do not forget who the Big Brother is. And his warning was, we cannot just talk it. We have got to be about it. Said it might be hell when these teams meet again next year. Said he could not wait. Pack Nation, that is the energy I have been waiting for in this building for a long, long time. That is not a guy blowing smoke. That is a guy who grew up in a town where the fun ended when shots went off, who had a homeboy grazed by a bullet, friends in cell block B, friends in the ground, who took a DUI mugshot at 19, lost the best friend at a car crash at 22, and came out the other side with one operating rule: go 110% and deal with the consequences on the next play. He grew up idolizing Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger, wanted to go to LSU, wanted the number 7, the armbands, the dyed hair. His mom, Shonda Bullard, nurse practitioner, the nucleus, by all accounts a stone-cold dog herself, vetoed the hair in 2 seconds flat. But the mentality, she let it run. And that mentality is why, and Ohio State fan base despised him, why Kirby Smart went back-to-back, and why Jonathan Gannon is getting the exact chess piece he built his whole career around. Dunne writes, Bullard threw a family fun day in Milledgeville, food trucks, horse rides, bouncy house, all on his own dime, no cover charge. Called it old-fashioned fun, the kind where nobody loses their life. And he did it for a city that shaped him into the weapon this defense has been asking for. Pack Nation, yesterday was about the scheme. Today is about the man. And the man told Tyler Dunne exactly what this team has been missing. The instinct to kill the opponent's hope. His words. At 21-3 in Chicago, he could feel the Bears panicking. He could sense the fear. And instead of driving the dagger in deeper, the Packers let the moment breathe. 25 points later, the season was over. He said, and I need this somewhere, permanent, I really do. We need that instinct to kill hope. Like, no, not today, not tomorrow. You all are through. That is the player living across the street from Lambeau Field. Year 3, coordinator designed for him. Defense finally starting to look like something real. He does not want to be liked. He wants to be the player that keeps every offensive coordinator in the NFC North up at 3 in the morning. Go ahead. Send him your whole fan base's hatred. The kid from Milledgeville already figured out that your anger is just fuel. Pack Nation, Javon Bullard is the dagger. And this team is about to find out what it feels like to have one in the building. Subscribe to Let Me Tell You Something on the Packernet Podcast Network. Hit follow wherever you get your podcasts. Tell Ryan I said he better bring it tomorrow. I am Big Sal. Stay loud, stay green, go Pack, go!